Hello, my name is Yukiko. I am originally from Japan and living in New York for 22 years. Today, I'd like to talk about how human beings are evolving. So right now, it's an epic time of this planet, and we are moving in from 3 dimension to 4th dimension to 5th dimension eventually. So, and then the new earth is waiting for us. And so humans have to ascend, and they are eager to ascend because we want peace. We don't want drama anymore. We don't want to suffer anymore. We just want to have a blissful freedom life. That's what we want. That's why we are trying to understand what's going on and self-development, so like I can keep the peace and like to have a goal. And what is the goal is like beautiful family, loving, and the money is abundant, and doing whatever we love to do. And that's what we are cultivating individually. But some of you are stuck in a struggling situation because of your family members. So, for example, you want to be free, but you can't leave this mother or father alone in bed, sick, and they're dying, but they're not dying for many years, something like that, you know? That was just for example. But parents like hold you, manipulate you to keep you for them, for their security, you know, so they don't want to let you go, let you free. So like you don't have any freedom to do anything. Maybe some freedom that they can handle, but you can handle more. But you cannot unleash yourself because of your parents, because of your family members, because of your partner. But eventually, the more you vibrate higher, as the planet is vibrate higher, you cannot stand if it doesn't make sense to you. No matter what, you will cut the code and unleash yourself. But today, I'd like to talk about very beautiful, struggling family. So one of my neighbor who works for front desk, and she has a very loving husband, but he's in bed for several years, and her daughter is taking care of him. Her daughter loves father as well. I always listen to them because I know like they need to talk, you know. And so what a difficult situation. You can't leave this person alone, but he doesn't even talk. He cannot even eat by himself. He cannot even go to the bathroom by himself. He cannot even do anything. He's just like a dead person with conscience. And but the daughter always tell me, so she wants to take care of him 100%. So her mind is basically him, like he is her, like they're like two soul is one, and it's so beautiful to see. But you know, like they try to like look for the hospital and stuff like that, but the daycare, but they cannot leave him alone like that because he would suffer so much, and they don't want him to suffer. They can suffer for themselves, but they don't want him to suffer, and that's how much they love him. I just wondered, like, what is this guy was about? Like a daughter and a wife loves him so much. Her mother often feels so depressed and worried, and you know, she's many pains in her body, and I feel always bad for her. And I tell her, don't be so negative, like don't worry about it, like, you know, like be positive. And but when I see her daughter today, she was so strong, and she just loved talking about how to take care of him. And I was looking at her, and I said, you're gonna be very, very blessed. And maybe this is the time that she is cultivating love and bond with him. And that's how you know, like you're preparing for the next life. And probably they're gonna have amazing love story next life. And I told her, and she was like, oh my God, like somebody else said that's the same thing. The person who said that was a Romanian priest, and like one of my friends like told me that, you know, he is such an amazing guy, so like please meet him. So the priest, the Romanian priest, came to her house to see how it's going on with the husband, the father. And then he said to them, like, you know, like you might be struggling right now, but God is watching you, and the next life you're gonna be very, very blessed. So I know what I was doing, what I was saying, and then he knows what he's saying. And then this is the confirmation that I am living in a spiritual world, that, you know, like in a spiritual world, we don't have to read books to understand the situation, because we already have the same consciousness. So anytime anybody who has same consciousness, we say the same thing, because that's a common sense now. That's common sense. You don't see only the surface anymore. We see beyond the surface, beyond the tangible things, beyond, like we include God's mind, because we become the God's mind. And how wonderful is that, to everybody think like monk, you know? And how peaceful is that? That's what we are going for. And that's what we become free from anything, from anybody. But some people, like our parents, not them, but our parents, like my parents, or maybe your parents, never leave the third dimension. They just have like heavily programmed since they were little, and they lived that way, and they found a peace in that dimension. So they don't have to listen to you. Like they're already good. They're already fine. And like even like you raise vibration, and who cares? They're about to die. But if I attach to that, if I attach to my parents, I'm gonna suffer, because we have very, very different consciousness. Like dimension is so completely different. So they're living in a different world than me, and I cannot force for them to understand me, or they can't force me to understand. I mean, I understand them, but I don't want to go there. I cannot. My body can't stand in that realm, in that dimension. I can't survive in that dimension anymore. So like I accept, and I have to separate. And I think it's not just my family, but it's the majority of the family are like that, except for those loving family. So just to know that just because you're in a family members doesn't mean you have to take care of it. You know, like if it doesn't make sense, it's okay to separate. And it's okay to hand to someone else who can handle it. It sounds very cruel, but that's what we have to do. That's our responsibility to take care of ourselves. If you really love, and then if it's okay for you to suffer for them, go do it. That's your choice. But that's your choice. That's your choice. That's beautiful. And you're gonna bless anyway. But don't be a victim. If you choose that way, then be happy in that way. Don't be a victim. Don't complain. If you complain, change it. You are creating your own universe. Nobody else. If you think it's worth to take care of your family, great. If you don't, that's okay too. No attachment, no judgment. Your body, your soul is telling you. Your soul has a blueprint of your life. So you can't, you can't be against it. So it doesn't matter if the society says whatever. But what do you feel? What is your soul telling you? That's the most important things, because if you don't listen to your soul, you just mess up everything else around you. And everybody else is getting harmful energy. And eventually they leave you alone, I don't know. Probably they stagnant people are still connecting with the stagnant energy. And then they are okay with it. That's their choice. And then that's how they find peace. But don't complain. It's nothing to complain. You have a choice and you make your soul happy. That's your job. That's your soul mission. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope your happiness in 2022, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. I love you.